What is it about the Israelites
that
you hate? I know you don't hate them personally. I'm talking about the teachings. What is it about the teachings of the Israelites that you hate most?
Everything.
And then I'm going to ask Shaka the same question.
Everything.
Shaka's stupid.
We got to make sure which Israelites we're talking about.
Yeah.
When I was in Newark yesterday, I visited the Church of God and Saints of Christ, the original ones from William Crowley himself.
Okay.
I don't hate anything about those folks. They were the kindest, nicest, most down-to-earth people you could hope to meet, and I don't hate anything about them. In fact, I love, now we have disagreements, especially about, they think Crowley was a prophet, and I don't. But I would want to differentiate. So they're called Kagasak. They're not well known. They don't go out in the street. But there's four of them, right? And there's four different bodies right in Newark across the, Okay. What I hate about the Lone West, Bibbins-inspired Israelites, who basically came out of Harlem, is not themselves, it is their doctrine. Because they open up a Bible and said, God says this. And then they say the most hateful, disgusting, vile, filthy thing with the open Bible.
Cool.
That's my real problem, because it's done with as if it's under the authority of God. But really, it's an excuse to justify the flesh. You're going to have a bunch of women, you're going to have slaves. It's all clearly flesh stuff. And so that's the problem. Plus,
mentally ill stuff.
Their level of aggression against Christians. So they're showing up at our churches. They're constantly calling us out.
Are you serious? You're lying.
Yeah, the IUSC does a thing called the Church Blitz. Just look up the videos. They're outside. Bring out your pastor. They
did that to Geno Jennings, brother.
I do not believe that. I don't know.
Yo, Shaka, they did that to Geno Jennings. You can look it up right now on YouTube.
But he's aggressive himself. They do it to regular old guys who are just feeding their community, and they'll call them out on it.
That's not cool.
And so, to me, that type of thing is so disingenuous, especially when I show up to where they are, and they call the cops on me.
Right, they don't like that.
Or they in the middle of a conversation, they shut it down, say, "Oh, my leader told me I can't speak to you anymore." That shows the lack of authenticity. Now, not all of them are like that, and some of them have changed. I used to have a big problem with Sakari. I still do, as far as their practice. However, I can call one of them on the phone now, and they will have a respectful sit-down. I think that's to their credit, because before they were like, no conversation, and I used to have a lot of respect for GMS. They would have discussions with me. Their new policy is call the cops on vocab. If you Google call police vocab Malone and GMS, you'll find literally 30 videos. IUIC has a similar policy. Usually they don't
always see what they do if I show them.
So I just feel like they're doing this, and then the second they get resistance, they act like they're being picked on. So I think they're destructive to the community and to the society at large.
I agree.
And so
I don't even know what you're talking about, and I agree with them. I agree with them 100%.
And the fact they do it under the auspices of the Bible is what makes it the most odious and offensive to somebody who believes the Bible is the Word of God. That's what it is.
All right, pass the mic to Shaka. Shaka, same question. What is it about the Hebrew Israelites you hate the most? I'm talking about as far as their doctrine is, their teaching is, not them personally. Come on, Shaka. This is the last question. We out.
Now, before we do that, there's something I want to show you.
Okay. Come on, answer the question.
Bro, relax. My thing is this. They're ignorant, and I just don't like ignorance. I don't care who it's coming from. It could come from the Kemetic community. It could come from the Christian community, the Muslim community. I don't like ignorance, and I don't like falsehood, because it hurt people. In the end, people end up suffering because of it. So that's my stance on any group. I don't care who you are. If your narrative is a self-serving narrative and chooses to ignore facts, I have no respect for you. And I will probably end up speaking to you that way, which is why I try to avoid most people. And I only have these kind of conversations with people who I actually genuinely have respect for. If I didn't have respect for Hocab, bro would not be sitting here. It couldn't happen, right? It would not be happening. He's sitting here because I genuinely, authentically respect him. Period. It couldn't happen. Right? It would not be happening. He's sitting here because I genuinely, authentically respect him. Period. It couldn't happen. Right? It would not be happening. He's sitting here because I genuinely, authentically respect him. Period. Why? I respect people who genuinely study and who are passionate about what they're learning about. Right? I think that any person who's purporting to be a scholar, and that includes me, anyone who you do your own scholarship a disservice if you make a priori choice not to follow where the evidence leads you. You have to go where the evidence leads you. It doesn't matter how uncomfortable it makes you feel. It doesn't matter if it turns your worldview upside down. You have to I always tell people in any debate, I don't have the last word. You don't have the last word. The evidence has the last word.
All right, I'm satisfied with the answer.
Subscribe to youtube.com/vocab Malone. Street Apologists Live. You know I like to debate the Hebrew Israelites on
Do you
there.
think, Vocab?
So who do you see right here? You see the dirty rat himself among his kindred, among his brethren. You see? And he pretending like it's like a joke or something, but it's not a joke. Now right here he put up this post. Somebody on the comment board said, I don't get the joke. And what did he say? Israelite opponents claim I'm paid off. This picture is a bit of a troll to those folks. Seriously, I went to Chabad and had some amazing conversations. My heart for them increased even more. Yeah, because they're your people.
Kal halayim la Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Waha, Recha, Kwadash. All praises and glory go to you, Lord. Double honors and respect go to our apostles, bishops, elders, and teachers, the men of great millstone. To you I say shalom. Salutations to the hopefully elect. It's your brother Amraya. And I got this snippet of Vocab Malone sitting down with Sarnetta and Shaka to talk about their despising of the Hebrew Israelites. Okay. These two so-called black men are very effeminate, and they're a part of the black consciousness community, and they are in fact black, all right, void of any type of light. So they get on with this white supremacist Vocab Malone to talk about their disdain for the Hebrew Israelites, all right. And this one with this thing on his head, this white thing, Shaka, playing with that thing like it's a wig on a B-dub. You know what I'm saying? Very effeminate. These men are very effeminate, all right? And Vocab Malone is, in fact, an agent for the FBI, for the Vatican, all right? Doing the work of the government to stop the awakening of the Hebrew Israelites. And they're just co-signing the bullshit. And I do have the receipts, which we will play here in a moment. All of this being said, this video struck a nerve because, it seems like our enemies are coming together in some type of league with one another, all right? And I wouldn't be surprised if some of these so-called brothers in the truth are a portion of this league here, all right? Which brings me to Galatians chapter 2 and verse 4. And that because of false brethren unawares brought in, who came in privily to spy out our liberty which we have in Hamashiach Yahushai, that they might bring us into bondage, all right? And that's the ultimate goal. This is why brothers were instructed to call the police on you, Vocab Malone, because you are, in fact, an agent of chaos, sent about upon the brothers in the truth by the FBI, by the Vatican. You are a paid opponent. And again, I'll put up the receipt here in just a moment. So are these other two effeminate Sambos on the screen who have sold out for profit, who, quite frankly, lack wisdom or any type of knowledge, should not be respected when it comes to the word in any way, shape, or fashion. But they're trying to chime in with their 2 cents. But this is what Vocab does, all right? Bought and paid for by the government, is going to raise up the opposition to stop the Hebrew Israelite awakening, all right? And it's too late. If the Heavenly Father be for it, who can be against it, all right? But Galatians chapter 2, verse 4 again, and that because of false brethren unawares brought in, who came in privily to spy out our liberty, which we have in Hamashiach Yahushua, that they might bring us into bondage, to whom we gave place for by subjection, no, not for an hour, that the truth of the gospel might continue with you. But if these who seem to be somewhat whatsoever they were, it maketh no matter to me, Yahweh accepteth no man's person, for they who seem to be somewhat in conference added nothing to me. Right. These dudes are adding nothing to this fight, this spiritual war that we're in. All right. Good is set against evil and vice versa. And what you're looking at is a panel of evil. Those of you who happen to come across the elder's video or this video, understand they are evil. All right. And Vocab Malone talking about, you know, being disingenuous, people calling the police on him when he comes up to interrupt their camps and bring a whole bunch of chaos. This dude himself is an agent of chaos, okay? A double-minded man, all right? Because he's putting up this act like he's virtuous and true, like he's defending the gospel, and the whole time he's paid opposition, all right? James chapter 1 and verse 8, it says, a double-minded man, which is Vocab Malone, all right? A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Drop the mic, all right? There's no reason to listen to these men. Again, Isaiah 8 and 20, to the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, the scriptures, this word, it is because there is no light in them, all right? And you're looking at darkness, evil incarnate. So just be understood, you have been warned. Vocab Malone, Sonetta, and Shaka are agents of chaos. All right? Hopefully this has been edifying. Call halal la Yahweh ba Hashem Yahweh Shai. Till the next time, Shalom.
Go to that one first.
How did you get into this? I'm just super curious to know, like, what led to all this.
Well, one day I was chilling, and I heard a knock on the door. And it was a man in a black suit, and he said, I'm a Jesuit, and we want to hire you. We've got some Vatican money. And I said, okay, do you have any other credentials? And he also told me he worked for the FBI, and I was in.
How did you get into this? I'm just super curious to know, like, what led to all this.
Well, one day I was chilling, and I heard a knock on the door. And it was a man in a black suit, and he said, I'm a Jesuit, and we want to hire you. We've got some Vatican money. And I said, okay, do you have any other credentials? And he also told me he worked for the FBI, and I was in.
How did you get